Hi, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'll be teaching you how to cut and draft a short pants. So we'll be needing our marker, our paper, scissors, my tape measure, my drafting paper, and my cuff roller. So let's begin. Start with the measurement I'll be needing is my length, the trouser length. The short pants length is 15 plus 2 inches folding allowance. My thigh measurement is 24. Then my hip is 40. My crotch length is 10 inches and my hip line is 8 inches. So I'll begin by measuring out half inch at this side. So after doing this, I'll come here and measure out the measurement. For this part, I'll be using a rubber. So I'll be measuring 2 inches at this upper part, like this. Then I'll come here from that 2 inches and rule out. So automatically we'll be beginning our measurement from this line. Then I'll come just after my line, measure out my hip line, which is 8 inches. Then my crotch depth. You can get your crotch length by dividing your hip by 4. So I divide my hip by 4, which is 40 divided by 4. That gives me 10 inches. Then I'll come here and measure out my crotch depth, which is 10 inches as well. And then I'm going to measure out my full length, which is 15. And measure out the folding allowance of 2 inches at the bottom. Depending on how much of fold you want to use for your down part, you can add 1.5, 1 inches, but I'll be using 2 inches here. So I'm going to rule out my lines. So after doing this, then we'll come here because we'll be using a rubber for our short pants. I will not be needing my waist measurement. I will only use my hip measurement, which is 40. Then I'll divide it into 2. That gives me 10. Then I'll measure 10 straight down. Then I'll come to my hip line as well. Measure 10 here. Then I'll come to my crotch depth and as well I'll measure 10. Then I'll connect, form a straight line. After doing so, I'll come to this part. This is my crotch depth. Let me label. So this is our rubber allowance. I'll label it as food allowance. Food allowance. This is my hip line. This is my crotch length. This is my foot length, and this is my folding allowance. Same allowance. So I'll come here and measure my thigh measurement. Remember, you are going to divide your thigh by 2 because the hip is we are going to divide our thigh by 2, which is 24 inches. Divide by 2, that gives me 12. Then I'll come down here half and by 1 inch. So I'll come down by 1 inch. Here as my crotch length. This is where I'll be creating my crotch depth. So I'll come down by 1 inch. Then I'll connect a straight line. Then I'll measure my 12 inches. My thigh measurement divided by 2. That's 24 divided by 2, giving 12 inches. I'll measure it here as well. Then I'll connect the line, these 2 lines. And I'll stand this particular one. So I'll come in between these 2 inches that I have here. I'll come in by 0.75 to create my crotch depth. You can come in by half, you can come in by 0.75. So I'll come in by 0.75. Then I'll try and connect to this place down to here. And I can just bring it here. And I'm using a freehand just in case you don't have a French cuff, so you can as well use your French cuff. So you're just going to blend. Then I'll connect the line down to my full length. Then I'll come here at this folding edge. I'll come out by ½ inch. Then I'll connect it to this part, to this full length part. I'm simply doing this because when I want to fold, I won't have any difficulty folding. So we are basically done with our front pattern. Then we are going to cut this out and place it on another paper to cut out our back. So after cutting out our front piece, this is what we have. Here we are going to be folding in our rubber, and here we are going to be folding in for our folding allowance. So typically this is what our front pieces look like. So for the back piece, we are going to trace out this side. We'll only be adding allowance, sewing allowance to the inseam here. So we'll be adding, I'll check if I have up to 2 inches here. So I'm going to add 2 inches to this part. Then I'll come here as well. At this crotch depth, I'll add 2 inches or 2.25 inches. I'll add it here. I'll add 2 inches here. Come down here and add 2 inches. Please ensure your paper is stable. You can use a masking tape. 2 inches here, I'll mark. I'll come here as well, I'll mark 2 inches. Then come here, we have our 2 inches. Then I'll come here and mark 1.5. You can increase it for a bigger box, but then I can use mine to be 1.5 or 2 inches. So let me use 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Here. So 2 inches up here. Then I'm just going to connect. Let's take it slightly off. So we're just going to trace this out as well. So at this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, a half inch, sorry. Then I'll connect to this point. So I will not have that baggy effect when I'm wearing your trouser. Then we're just going to trace out everything that we marked out. So we're basically done with our cut out. We have our allowance folded in, our rubber space, elastic space. So I'll just go ahead and cut out on my fabric. So I'll be cutting out on my fabric. Remember, we are cutting 2 pieces of the front and 2 pieces of the back. So I'll trace out my pattern now on my fabric. So I'm going ahead to join my front piece and I've joined the back piece. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to join side by side, both the front and the back. And typically we are going to have the back longer than the front, so we are just going to bring the edge together and join. You join here. Remember, we added half an inch allowance, so you are going to pick that. Then you join straight down here. Then you are going to join straight down here. So after I've joined this side together with this side, I'll go ahead and join this side. This is our crotch side. I'll join from this edge to this edge as well, and I'll come back to show you here. So I'll go ahead and measure my 2 inches, the folding allowance. Then I'll fold in here like this. I'll firstly fold in like this, then I'll fold the remaining, then sew directly on it. Yeah, I'll fold in small inches like this, and I'll fold the remaining like this. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead as well and fold this my elastic space at the upper part. Remember, we added an allowance for our elastic, so I'll go ahead and fold in small inches as well. Then I'll come back to show you how I'll fix my elastic. So guys, I'm going to stitch all the parts. Then I'm going to open a small space here where I'll be using my elastic. I'm using this elastic this size. So, and then the down part as well, I've already stitched the 2 inches I left. You can see. So I'll fix my rubber now and then my elastic, and then I'll come and show you the final results. So guys, to fix my elastic, I created a little space here where I'm passing this through. So I'm just going to use a pin to create that. I'll use the pin. So I'm going to be using this pin to pass my rubber through like this, and I'll just insert. I'll make it round, then I'll come back and show you the rest. So guys, this is the final result. Look at our elastic. There's the front, and this is the back. This is the down part. So I really hope you find this tutorial helpful. Kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that when I post a new video, you will be the first to get notified. Thank you so much for watching. Have a peaceful sewing. See you in the next class.